Today is the 19th day of the Omer. So what does the number 19 remind us of?
It's a prime number.
So I'm sure no one will ever guess. Shmona Esrei. Why Shmona Esrei? Because there are 19 brachos in the Shmona Esrei. So just to read to you the footnote in the Art Scroll Siddur, when it speaks about the 19th bracha that was added, it is called in the Gemara the Birchas Haminim, the bracha against heretics. What's the story over there? I'm just reading from what it says here chronologically. This is the 19th blessing of Shmona Esrei. It's the blessing that begins with V'lam al Shinim. It was instituted in Yavna during the tenure of Rabbi Gamliel II as Nasi of the Jewish people, sometime after the destruction of the Second Temple. It was composed in response to the threats of the heretical Jewish sects such as the Sadducees, the Baituthians, the Essenes, and the early Christians. They tried to lead Jews astray through example and persuasion, and they used their political power to oppress observant Jews and to slander them to the anti-Semitic Roman government. In this atmosphere, Rabbi Gamliel felt the need to compose a prayer against the heretics and slanderers and to incorporate it into the Shmona Esrei so that the populace would be aware of the danger. Despite the disappearance from within Israel of the particular sects against whom it was directed, it is always relevant because there are still non-believers and heretics who endanger the spiritual continuity of Israel, and this comes from the commentary Yaros Dvash. So what's very interesting, in addition to the historical background, is that we still call it Shmona Esrei after almost 2,000 years, because apparently the name Shmona Esrei was implanted in our minds, our collective mind, before this 19th bracha was added. So we have a good memory, and we tend not to forget either. So speaking of forgetting and mind, so what's this, you make an announcement saying Kaddish Yortzeit was the way that I used to hear it as a little kid, and there was one person who always made that announcement, and then only the people who had Yortzeit that day would say Kaddish at that time, and then it came to the other Kaddishes. So how does it work when there's only one person saying Kaddish? So there's still an idea behind it, and that is that when a person is saying Kaddish, may they have more than one person in mind. And the question was asked that, let us say there's a shul that has a shamus, for example, who says Kaddish for many people. So how many may he say Kaddish for? The bottom line is, according to a tshuva of Moshe Feinstein, as long as he has one Kaddish for each of the individuals that he is keeping in mind, so that there's enough that there's one for each separate person. So if a person is saying Kaddish having in mind more than one person, more than one Kaddish, when he comes to a particular Kaddish, then it's appropriate to have in mind a particular person. The interesting thing is that the shamus in the shul can even count if there's more than one minyan in the shul. There are 3 minyanim for Shachris. So if he would attend all 3 minyanim, he would get an extra 6, 8, 10, whatever the number is. So even if he doesn't attend all of the minyanim, he can still do it and have in mind at one Kaddish for more than one person. The Rabbi Felder said that the reason for that is because there's a Gemara that says Zikaron Ola Lakan Lakan, that you can remember more than one thing at a time. So a good day to everyone.